Hi, my name's Kaz Riley. Welcome back to episode 51 of Trancing in the Sheets. I hope you enjoyed the 50th special, all the cool orgasmic feelings. But today we've got something very different. Today I have my wonderful, wonderful friend and colleague, Freddy Jacquin. We're talking about sensual intelligence. Now, Freddy and I taught a 2-day sensual intelligence class last year in Las Vegas, and now we're kind of updating and we're using it within our everyday lives. So welcome, Freddie. Thank you so much for coming back on Trancing in the Sheets.
Well, thanks for inviting me again.
So sensual intelligence, it's a thing that we're both passionate about, for want of a better word, I guess.
It is because it's our life, isn't it? You know, it's everything we do. You
Yeah.
know, all of our senses, and if we can um, enhance those feelings, the good feelings in our life, why would we not do it? And as hypnotists, you know, we can help other people do that and show other people how to do it for themselves. That's the joy of it. Of
Absolutely.
living our life sensually to the max, so to speak.
Well, this is it. I mean, when we talk about sensual intelligence, I know people think about kind of sensuality and sex. Now, I know that's an area that I work in lots, but this is much, much more than that. This is about sensual living, as in living with every single one of your senses turned up to the max, so that even the kind of little everyday things that perhaps maybe we take for granted, or we maybe took for granted prior to this kind of new way of living that we're all beginning to embrace. This is about doing that completely wholeheartedly, becoming completely immersed, isn't it, in all those
Yeah.
kinds of every experience, whether that's the breeze or the way a food tastes or how something feels or touches or how
Mm.
we feel inside.
And it's taking the time out. I mean, I live, as you can see, right on the beach. You know, that's the view from my window, albeit a virtual view, but that is the view from my window. And I'm lucky enough, even as we speak at the moment, we're in this lockdown situation.
Yeah.
You know, because it's local to me, I can walk, and there's no one on that beach. And this, I call it my contemplation rock. But about a mile and a half down the beach, when the tide's out, it's actually a piece of concrete where a house fell into the sea years and years ago. And this bit of concrete sticks out when the tide's out. But I go there and I just stand there, and I suppose you'll call it mindfulness, but I just stand there and I become aware of where the breeze is on my face,
Mm.
how my feet feel in the sand, and things we don't take time out to do.
Mm.
But to be aware of all of my senses in that moment, and it's an amazing thing because when you open your eyes, because I do that with my eyes closed, when you open your eyes, it's as if you see differently. It's a very
Mm.
strange, to explain, but you know that's the understanding. I know you live in the countryside as well, and you go out with a walk with your boys and your man, and being able to do that, but experiencing and allowing yourself to envelop all of those
That's it.
wonderful
It's
feelings.
just becoming encompassed in a feeling or a or within our own senses. And I think this is why hypnosis especially is so amazing for helping people not only get in touch again with that sensual intelligence, because everybody's born with sensual intelligence. You know, when we think
Yeah.
about how when babies are born, you know, the first thing they do, it's the smell of their mother,
Mm,
it's the taste of the milk. They look for that kind of feeling of connection and
mm,
calm. We talk about skin to skin contact. You know, and when they become aware of the world, you know, when we see babies see things for the
mm,
first time, I always remember watching my son really notice a tree for the first time, and the absolute awe and amazement on his face was truly magical. And then I think you see these things yourself, but hypnosis allows us to really key into these senses that sometimes have become very numbed with life, haven't they? You know, we can kind
Well,
of ignite and
mm.
relight them, if you like.
Well, I think that the natural that natural intelligence that we're saying, essential intelligence that we're born with, you know, our feelings, our actual responses to other people,
Mm.
and then because of society and because of different beliefs and religious beliefs included, we're told we shouldn't be feeling that. And we're told that we shouldn't, this is wrong, or this feeling's wrong, or that feeling's wrong.
Mm,
You know, my answer has always been, your feelings are your feelings. You can ignore them. Um, you can push them down, but they're still your feelings. And when we repress anything, and feelings included, you know, the other side of the coin of repression is obsession.
mm,
And that's why, you know, because and we're, I mean, talking about sensuality, but talking about sex as well, you know, because when, you know, we're not supposed to feel certain things, or we're told we're not supposed to feel certain things, so we repress those feelings. And
mm,
the problem with that is, if we repress our feelings, then we become obsessed by that feeling.
mm,
Then it tends to be all we're thinking about, rather than thinking, these are my feelings, you know, I don't have to express them, you know, and I understand we're living in our society,
mm.
but they are my feelings, and accepting that they're your feelings. And then wherever you can, express those feelings.
Absolutely.
That's my attitude towards things, you know.
Well, this is it. I mean, this is one of the things that I know you and I share. There's this belief, this knowledge, I guess, from what we see from our clients, and we've seen from our clients for years, that feeling is healing. And
Yeah.
if you can't feel, then you can't function as a human. And those feelings can be anything. It could
Mm,
be even feelings of anxiety, serve a purpose
mm,
sometimes, right the way through then to feelings of deep love, of connection, of self-worth. But what we do know is, if you suppress feelings,
yeah.
you can't pick and choose which one you're going to suppress. It's like they tend to be, if they're, as in they're not being acknowledged, if they're suppressed, then we have to suppress everything. Whereas if we learn to manage some of the more negative feelings, then we can manage those down. But then it also means that we can manage up some of the
Yeah.
better things, or the more, helpful, joyous, wonderful feelings, which then
Yeah, and
allows us to live.
we ran that course in Las Vegas in 2019 together, the Sensual Intelligence course that we ran there.
Mm,
And one of those techniques which, you know, we taught was TPM, Total
mm,
Perception Management, which was the ability to switch off a negative emotion with a snap of a finger and ramp up a positive emotion.
mm,
You know, and if you've got a partner, and you know, you only have to learn a little bit of hypnosis, you know, and when you are in um, a, a sexual experience with your partner, why would you not, if you have the ability, ramp that feeling right up?
mm,
Why would you not do that? You know, so, you know, to have that, but not just about in a sexual experience, but just in general. So if you're feeling frustrated, or you're feeling anxious or angry, it's better to switch that feeling off. And people say, well, if you can just have complete control of your emotions,
mm.
doesn't that make you less human? Personally, I think it makes you a more advanced human being, to accept that we have control over our emotions,
Yeah.
and to express them at times. I mean, you know, people think, I know I look very hench, and I look very, you know, very brave, but I tell you, I wept my eyes out as Star is Born, that last film with Bradley, whatever, I'll take Bradley Walsh then, but no, Bradley, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You know, I cried twice in that, and you know, and so I allow myself to feel that. I enjoyed that film. I loved it. And when she sang a song at the end, yeah, I was booing and I was crying. So, you know, to allow yourself to feel and to express those feelings, not be afraid. You know,
Yeah.
this, you know, we're in England, and there's that saying, you know, the stiff upper lip, where you're not supposed to express your emotions. You
Mm.
know, we're living in a different world now. You know, why not just
Be. Just
be,
be. Yeah, absolutely.
be, and
And I think you're right. I think, when people talk about controlling your emotions, that's the thing that they get mixed up with, is there's a huge difference between able to influence and control your emotions and suppressing them. One
yes,
is a very
yeah,
negative, one is about, here it is and I accept it, and then I'm going to choose what to do with it, whether that's
yeah,
to ramp it up or to kind of push it down. Whereas, repression is much more just about ignoring it. And we know as hypnotists what happens when we try and ignore something, like you say, we think about it more and more until it become quite an obsessive thought. And then people, we see people come in our clinics all the time, don't we? I've got this reoccurring thought and I can't get it out of my head. And the harder I try, and you're just like, well, that's because you're thinking about it. It's, so this TPM is a great way of just managing that, but also allowing every one of those emotions to be, but then choosing how you're going to feel and what you want to do and ramping it up in whatever situation that happens that you find yourself. Absolutely.
And we've been given, you say given, it sounds like it's someone out there giving us stuff, but we're born with the ability to feel, and to love and to enjoy and to savor certain things. And we should do. We only have we might come back many times. My belief is that this is it for me, so I'm going to live it out and make the most of it. So but we have the ability to do that, and I think we should. I think when the opportunity comes to just experience something joyous or beautiful, whether it's just like you say, walking in the countryside and seeing a tree for the first time. At this point, when we're making this, I've got some fruit trees in my garden, and they're just blossoming, and that experience, to see that happening, it's just a great thing. So I think we should all allow ourselves to feel more, because like you're saying, it's your saying, and I love it, feeling is healing. And we need to feel, and we need to allow ourselves to feel in everything, our touch, all the senses, the smell, sight, hearing, all of those things, and to expand upon that. And we can do that with hypnosis. That's the joy of hypnosis. It can increase an emotion. Obviously, a lot of people come to, they want to be free of a negative emotion, which we can also do. But the other side of that, as you were saying earlier, is we can ramp a good feeling up. Ramp up a feeling of love. I use emotion in everything I do in hypnosis, because I believe it's the doorway to making those changes in our life. So I will ramp up an emotion. I look for emotion and emotional levers, but also, your sensual being, to increase that. And like, I'm sure you do it, where we get people to imagine the outcome they want. And then through hypnosis, we say, go out, step into that body and feel what it feels like to have achieved that. See what you see and feel what you feel. And if you can get someone doing that, then you can increase their desire to achieve their life goals. But that's including all of your senses.
Well, absolutely. And when we kind of future pace people like that, the other thing we do is we create a future memory. So they already know how it feels. So then they're even more motivated, aren't they, because they want to feel like that again. It's kind of like they're connecting into something. So when we, that's why it's so important that we do that with all of our clients, isn't it? Is that they can feel the change and feel what it will be like to whatever it might be, to not have that level of anxiety, to feel that level of connection, to not be nervous in a particular situation, to not be a smoker anymore, to feel fit, whatever it might be. It's a massive thing.
And there is a big difference, where, I don't know, some therapists might say, look, see yourself out there achieving it. And there's a difference between seeing yourself achieving it and asking, and you can do it with hypnosis, asking to step into that body and feel what they feel. Because that is a big difference. To be able to picture something in your mind, but they're able to feel that in your mind, because then that is the desire to achieve it's going to be increased. And that is one of my favorite techniques. It's a very quick technique to say, and look back to now and notice the things you did along the way that led to that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. and
But
notice
then,
how easy it was.
well, yeah,
That's the,
yeah,
absolutely. It's that I want you to sense, see, feel, or just imagine
yeah.
as you look back and just notice how easy it was to get to this point with all these, all these wonderful feelings. And it's such a simple phrase,
Yeah,
and yet it's so powerful,
some of
isn't
those
it?
wonderful techniques you did in our class in Las Vegas, which is now been renamed the Kaz ball, which is, you know, some of those are wonderful expressions of feeling and getting people to feel. The trance circles that you did, um, what's the infinity cube,
The infinity
all of those
cube.
wonderful things, but all of those things involve something that you can touch and you can feel, which is another layer of
Yeah.
of understanding and experience.
Absolutely. But the beauty of that is you can use anything. It can be an infinity cube, can be a piece of paper, or or a stress ball, and the kind of expandable ball,
Mm,
could just be a folding out piece of cloth. It doesn't matter,
mm,
what they are. And the trance circles, I love that because that's so connecting, but you can actually do it without touch or with touch, or you can even do stuff like that online. And I know,
yeah.
I remember actually, I think there was one of them. I think I kind of looked across. I'm sure I've got a photograph of this. I might put the photo up here, so everybody can have a load of Freddy Jacquin deep in trance. I think kind of almost like this. He just kind of went off.
Yeah.
Um, so which I took as a huge, huge compliment. I was
I
like,
I love that. I love that. Coming back from that, I remember coming back from that and thinking that was phenomenal. And I still remember that. And it is because I love it. And I think everyone should be able to experience hypnosis, even if they don't get a chance to go and see a hypnotherapist.
yeah,
And as you did that to me, I'm gonna do something to you today. But while I'm taking you through the process, if anyone who's watching this wants to experience themselves, whether they want to do it now, or whether they want to look back at this video when it's out and experience it, they can do, because it's a very simple understanding. I'm going to do it for you now. Do you fancy doing something?
oh, absolutely. I can't say how much people that watch this would love to see me hypnotized as well, and I love being hypnotized. So this is just a
Right.
mega
Well,
treat.
two things
Cool.
going to happen here. I'm gonna hypnotize you, and I'm going to give you um, a post-hypnotic suggestion for you to take yourself back into hypnosis at any time. And anyone watching this, if they want to get into it with me right now, or they can do it afterwards, then they'll have that anchor word, which I'm going to give you. So they can take themselves back into it. So when they're in an experience where they want to enhance that experience, you can do hypnosis eyes open. You're going to see that in a moment. They can take themselves in, the partner they're with or whoever they're with at the time doesn't have to know that they're going into trance and enhancing their feelings. But you can do this for your partner. You can do this for your kids. You can teach your kids how to tap into all of their own abilities and strengths. Okay. So
Yep.
you're ready to do this, right?
Always, you
This
know
is
me.
this is an induction that strangely enough, I developed when I was in Brazil in a pub, where most of my inspiration happens. Right, and my son named it because it involves your arm and it involves emotion. Okay, so all you have to do, Kaz, is this. You ready? So it's going
Mhm.
to be a big experience. Okay, I want you to just place your arm out in front of you like this, and look at me in the camera.
Mhm.
Think about those beautiful boys of yours. Think about that beautiful man of yours. Feel that love they feel for you and see those faces now. And as you feel that love, as you see those beautiful kids of yours, I want you to notice that arm's hanging all by itself. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that, Kaz. And when you realize there's nothing you can do about it, I want you to try and get it down and find you cannot. But I do not want you to pretend. Push even harder, find it goes even higher. Come on, you're a strong woman. Push even harder. And as that arm starts to lift, you can close your eyes and think about all those people that love you,
Mm.
the people whose lives you've changed with your understanding, people you've freed from their limitations. Feel that love right now. And as you feel that love, as you go even deeper, from today, whenever you want to go back into hypnosis, wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, all you need to do is repeat the word relax 4 times in your mind. I'm going to say that word 4 times. And each time I say it, you're going to go deeper and deeper into the most profound state of hypnosis. As that arm just hangs there all by itself, relax. Go deeper, deeper down, dropping down in the most profound, wonderful space. Relax. Feel yourself going even deeper. Imagine it's happening automatically. There's nothing you can do about that. Relax. Go even deeper into the most incredible state of bliss now. Relax. And as you go deeper and deeper, as my voice drifts with you, from today, wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, whenever you want to experience hypnosis to enhance your life, to achieve a goal, you just repeat the word relax 4 times in your mind. On the fourth time I hear it, you're going to go back into this incredible, wonderful state of hypnosis you're in now. In a moment, I'm going to count to 5. On 4, your eyes will open, your arm will drift down. And on 5, your eyes will open. You're going to feel incredible. And that feeling's going to grow stronger day by day. From today, wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, whenever you want to use your unconscious mind, you repeat the word relax 4 times. So get ready. As I count to 5, on 4, your eyes will open. And on 5, you're going to be feeling incredible with a new understanding about the power you have within you, just how loved you are. 1, feeling absolutely wonderful now. 2, to achieve all the things you want to achieve in your life and do it brilliantly. 3, a feeling of freedom from every limitation. 4, feel the force of that energy and love for every cell, every fiber of your body. 5, feeling absolutely incredible now.
Oh, can we
Good.
do it
I've
again?
been waiting almost a year to get back to you for hypnotising me in Las Vegas.
Oh,
We're
it's
done.
going to turn into a hypnotist kind of duel. Then each time, it's like you'll do me, I'll do you, forevermore. Every time we meet. Yeah.
Well, I'm up for that. I'm up for that.
Me too. Me
It's
too.
great,
Me
yeah.
too. Yeah.
But for anyone watching this, you
Oh.
can do this.
Mm,
And now because I've given you that suggestion,
mm,
anytime you want to, wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, not while you're driving a combine harvester or something, all right, but wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, you're going to take yourself back into hypnosis. Now, there are 2 rules when you do this for yourself. And anyone listening, I want you to just listen to these 2 rules. You must state what you want in the positive. So I want to feel great. I want to be fit and well, I suppose. So I don't want to be ill. All right. I want to be happy, I suppose. So I don't want to be unhappy. So you state what you want in the positive. Give yourself a time, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it's got. If you want to come out of it rapidly, you just count from 1 to 5 and you'll drift back up. Okay. So from today, whoever's listening to this, if they've experienced it just then or they're going to experience after this, you now have the ability to do this. And you can teach your partners to do this. And you can use this to enhance all of your sensual feelings,
mm,
in all of them. You can heighten. We can, believe it or not, people think when they go into hypnosis, they're going to black out, they're going to go to sleep. The opposite actually happens. All of your senses are heightened.
mm.
So your hearing is more acute. If you to open your eyes, you'd actually be able to see better. And it sounds strange, but because all of our senses are heightened when we're in hypnosis. So whoever's watching this, think about that. Utilize it for yourself. Utilize it for your kids. And the idea that if you can create an emotion, you can give
Mm.
a suggestion. For you, it was very simple. I know you've got a man and boys that you love. It was very easy to get you into that heightened state of emotion by asking
Mm.
you to think about them. But you see this in your children when they get excited or get happy. Be ready with a positive suggestion. You're going to love your mathematics. You'll love eating greens.
Well,
Whatever
maybe
it
I
is you
already
want
did
from.
that. I have one that does love his mathematics. So,
Oh, good.
yeah, I mean, this is the thing, and we talk about, living hypnotically, isn't it? We're
Mm,
not talking about walking around kind of in like,
yeah,
a trance. We're actually talking about just that awareness of how amazing the world is,
yeah,
and just how we can find joy in most things, not everything but most things.
yeah,
um and it's about our mindset, isn't it? It's about how we approach these things. And we know, don't we, for example, that if you walk with your head held higher, that you feel better,
yeah.
you feel more positive. So this is, a massive amplification of that, but on every sense. It's like holding your head high in every sense of your body, in the way that you see things and you hear things and you feel things and all of those amazing things.
But
So
often people talk about the mind-body connection, and
yeah.
people often also talk about the body, and then they talk about the mind as if they're 2 things. But you can't feel something physically without it affecting you psychologically,
Not at
and you
all.
can't have a psychological pain without affecting you physically. So It's completely connected. Once we understand that, and once we understand all of those things to enhance the joy in our life and the fun in our life and our health, because
Yeah.
we need it for our own health. We've spoken about it before. Children don't get physical touch when they're born and when they're babies. It affects them throughout their life.
Mm,
And it is one of those things. So it's vitally important to us to allow ourselves to feel,
mm.
and wherever we get an opportunity, have a hug, to have a kiss, to touch, to where it's appropriate. I'm not saying at the bus stop, with just random strangers.
Especially not now.
Yeah,
But
yeah. You got to have arms that are 1.5 meters now to actually get any physical touch from a stranger. But well, this isn't going to last forever.
mm,
We're going to be back to our own selves and being able to hug our family and be with our families, be with our friends, be with our
mm.
lovers, and enjoy that.
Absolutely. I know on my YouTube channel actually I put out something called a mind hug, which sounds kind of nuts, and it's just kind of like a guided meditation, if you like, about feeling touch in the
Mm,
absence of touch. And it's really interesting because the feedback that I've had from that, I've had a few. You always get a few negative comments like, are you crazy? And but then the majority of them, like, and it's had lots and lots of views, is about just how lovely that was, just to be able to go within and do that, which tells us, feeling truly is healing, because what we're doing with that is thinking about feelings to
yeah.
create feelings, which then lifts our mood. And, we're talking about endorphins and oxytocin. Our body
Mm.
reacts in a very biochemical way when we do that. So it's this is, it sounds so very easy, isn't it, to talk about, just living with all of your senses, but actually this is a much deeper thing, isn't it? It's much more than a mind-body connection. It's about being human. In fact, we have the ability to feel and think on so many different levels, and
Mm.
it's amazing that all of those things are connected.
And in the absence of being able to express our feelings through physical touch, to the mind and the body, the imagination is pretty much the same. And so, well, this because we watch a film, and depending on what it is, you can get excited, you can get sad,
Mm,
you can make you laugh. We know it's a film, we know we're watching it on a box or on a screen, but we can still have those physical feelings. So, in the absence of being able to that physical touch, if you can imagine being with your mother and giving her a hug, if you
mm,
can imagine being with your friends and having that time together, or being held by someone you love, then to your body, if you do that and go in, you can do it. But now you've got your relax, relax, relax 4 times. You can go in, allow yourself the pleasure of just going in, and it doesn't matter. There are no limits. So if it's a sexual fantasy feeling you want, then go in, allow yourself the pleasure of that. If it's a family hug you want, then go in and experience it. I imagine the majority of people watching this are adults. We're allowed to feel, and if why not express that? And if you can't express it because of this lockdown, then you can do that by taking yourself into hypnosis and allowing yourself the feeling anyway, because to your mind and body it's pretty much the same thing,
mm,
and that in itself will be a healing experience.
mm,
And let go of all of the limitations that are placed on us throughout our lives. We shouldn't be doing this, we shouldn't be feeling that, we shouldn't be experiencing that. The truth of the matter is that we are human beings, and we can ignore those feelings, and we can say we don't have those feelings, but we do.
mm.
And ignoring them, like we were saying earlier, and suppressing those feelings, it doesn't do us our health any good. So allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to be, allow yourself to experience. We only get one run of this. So someone once said, this is not a rehearsal.
Not at all.
You might as well enjoy
Yeah.
it. I love life, as you know. You've seen me, you've seen me around. We travel around the world and different things together, and I do. I love life. I'm very lucky to be able to enjoy it as well. And I take whatever opportunity I can to experience
Mm.
those things.
Absolutely. I
As I
think
said,
that's the thing, isn't it? I think that's maybe why we're such good friends, is we both have that outlook of, what opportunities are there to live. It's about the experience of life and
yeah,
I think both of us, neither is our things kind of people. We're very much
no,
about, the different experiences that we can have
mm,
and share with other people and create for other people and all of those kinds of things, which is living. I guess it's walking your talk, isn't it? It's living in a very sensually intelligent way.
yeah,
But that's the kind of the beauty of hypnosis. It allows us to
mm,
do that, and of course, within our minds, our minds can, and our imaginations are one of the most powerful things that we have, aren't we? For anybody to, whatever we do, everything starts with a thought, doesn't it?
yeah,
However you choose to live your life, everything starts with a thought.
and we cannot not imagine things. So, but we can choose what we want to imagine, and imagine that. Imagine that every limitation you have, imagine you could imagine it in a different way, in
Mm,
a way that empowers you.
mm,
Because at this point in time, it's just your imagination. But the imagination is what we use in hypnosis all the time. We tap into, we understand the power of it. But to understand that and use it for yourself, to take yourself, that's the joy of it. No matter if you're in lockdown, you're you're free in your mind.
mm,
One of my favorite Shakespearean quotes is this. And I was thinking about this, about nothing being real. Our past is done and gone. It's a vacuum. The future hasn't happened yet. You can only imagine it. And everything we experience, talking about total perception management, everything experiences in our skull. It's not in our body. It's we feel it in our body, but we experience it um, in our brain, if you like. And I read this quote from Shakespeare 500 years ago, and he said, and I love this. He said, "I could be bound in a nutshell and still consider myself king of infinite space, were it not for
mm,
bad dreams." In other words, in our head, we can be king of infinite space, were it not for bad dreams. But those bad dreams are only our imagination.
mm,
We can say, I prefer to imagine my life like this, because either way, it's not real.
mm,
What imagination enhances my life? What enhances my health? Because we have the ability to do that once we allow ourselves to do it.
mm,
Once we give ourselves permission to experience what we want to experience.
mm,
And we can do it in imagination. And when we're out of lockdown, we can do it in real life.
mm,
But I would say to anyone listening to this, have a think about what you'd like to do that you're not doing now. Then ask yourself why you're not doing that. And if it's because of beliefs that have been put on you, negative beliefs or limiting beliefs or social constraints, ask yourself whether that's a good thing or not.
mm.
And then think about it being your life and what do you want? Because as I said, it's not a rehearsal. You only get one shot at it. You might as well enjoy it.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's about what they want, not what they think they should do, what other people want, what society expects. It's about who am I, and what is it that I want,
Yeah.
and that's actually a good place to get to, isn't it? Because then you're letting go of all the stuff that you kind of learn, most of which isn't true, which is the interesting thing, isn't it? It's people learn these constraints and
Mm.
limits, and they're actually pretty easy to shed. And if they can't, then they just need to call us and we'll sort it out
Well,
for them.
I saw a client just before we spoke. We made this video today, and we're talking about that.
Mm,
And really, whatever someone has said to you, ultimately, it's just someone else's opinion. And you can say, okay, well, I understand that, but that is your opinion.
mm,
It's it's no more than someone else's opinion. And once we understand that, we can choose: does this limitation enhance me or not? Does this belief empower me or not? Because if it doesn't empower you, understand that you can choose to believe something else
mm,
that does. Um, that we had that 2 days together in Las Vegas running that course, and I loved it. And we've got it coming out as a product, I know. But some of the techniques and the people in that room, the people whose lives changed over those 2 days. I mean, mine did once I came out of hypnosis with you, but I've never been the same again. But that experience in that room, and
Mm,
now, as I said, I'd love to think other people get benefit from that as well. So yeah, it's great, and we can just keep doing this, but we can do it for ourselves. And anyone, as I say, watching this, even if you're not a hypnotist or a hypnotherapist, if you want to experience everything about your senses, then take yourself back into hypnosis. You now have a way to do that, because you can
mm,
go into hypnosis with how I hypnotize Kaz. You don't have to put your arm out in front of you. Just think about the people you love, take a breath in, and allow yourself to relax. And then repeat the word relax in your mind. You'll go into hypnosis,
mm.
think about exactly how you want to be, take the time out to step into that body and feel what it feels like, and then ask your unconscious mind to make it happen for you. See
Absolutely.
what happens.
Sadly, we're out of time. That's
Right,
but
gone very
so
quickly.
tell tell everybody where people can find all the stuff that you do, because there's so you've got so much great products and sessions and all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah, well, it's freddyjacquin.com. It's very simple. Freddy with a Y, Jacquin, JACQUIN.com.
Okay.
And we're running, there's a World Quit Smoking project. It's free to use, right? But we're asking the people, if they quit smoking, donate maybe 10 quid to save the children. There's an empowerment audio on there. That's free. Again, if you want to, if you've enjoyed it, you want to donate, it all goes to save the children. And there's an immunity one, which is right at this point in time, go in, boost your immune system. And if you want to, it's an honesty project, you don't have to do it, and you
Mhm.
want to donate something because of it's enhanced you, you can press that button and donate to save the children. So all those things going on my website. There's my book, Hypnotherapy, if you're interested in how to do this, and it's out as an audio. So lots of things, but and I'm running these webinars every week for the College of Medicine and Integrated Health at
Mhm.
the moment. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. And then for those who are listening, Kaz is going to do a Fred talk, as we call them, and so that's going to be great as well. You can find all that stuff on my website. Okay.
Cool. And I'll put the links to you, freddyjacquin.com, in the kind of the box of description to this.
Thanks.
Also, when I've done the Fred talk, I'll also I'm sure you might allow me to put it on here, but I'll also link back to that in there as
Oh,
well,
that'd
so
be
that if
great.
people are watching after the event.
I forgot to mention, because I run the Jacquin Hypnosis Academy with my son Anthony, and we now got online training. So if you want
Cool.
to look, JacquinHypnosisAcademy.com, go there. If you want to train with me online, that's a great way of doing it as well. Okay.
Fantastic. I'll make sure all of those links. So if you're watching and wondering you didn't hear that, all the links are in the description, and you just need to click on them, and it will whiz you right over to whichever Freddy site you need to be at. And
Yeah.
there's lots of really cool stuff on there. So please go and check that out. So
Now remember, feeling is healing.
feeling is healing, absolutely. And in fact, I'll give Freddy a little virtual
Oh,
hug.
thanks. I receive it. Thanks.
Ready for when I'm able to give my good friend a hug again, hopefully sometime soon, because
Yeah.
we always have a riot when we're working and teaching together. It's always
Yeah.
been
It's
so
great.
much fun, isn't
Yeah.
it? So thank you so much for being on the show,
My pleasure.
and thank you for everybody that's taken the time out to watch us talking about sensual intelligence, how feeling is healing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that little notification bell so it ding dongs and lets you know when there's something new that's uploaded. Thank you. If you want to get hold of me, then it's Kaz at Trancing in the Sheets. You can catch me on just about any social media on at Trancing Sheets. So Instagram, here on YouTube, obviously, Facebook. I get all over the place. So don't forget to drop me a line if you've got any questions about anything that we talk about on any of these shows, and I'm sure I'll find the answer for you. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Trancing in the Sheets.
Thank you.